Hello dear students, welcome back. In our previous videos we have focused on rural local self government and urban local self government. In our previous videos we have studied their organization, powers and functions, and what are the duties that they do, being a local self government. So, in this part, let's focus on the features of 73rd and 74th Amendment. Okay, in this part, let's focus on the few features of 73rd and 74th Amendment. So, Constitutional Amendments 73rd, it's about rural local self government, and 74th, it's about urban local self government. The constitutional amendments, these are very important amendments which is relating to the Panchayat Raj institutions and municipalities were drafted but could not be put through. It was only then in April 1993 that Narasimha Rao's government brought on the statute book the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. The 74th Constitutional Amendment Act came into effect from 1st June 1993. These amendments were later on Part 8 of the Constitution as per the 9 and 9A respectively. These amendments created two separate schedules after that, 11th schedule and 12th schedule. 11th schedule deals with the 73rd amendment, that is rural local self government, and 12th schedule about 74th amendment, that is urban local self government. ಈಗ ಇದರ ಸೇಲಿಯನ್ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಸೇಲಿಯನ್ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ 73rd ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್, ಅಂದರೆ ರೂರಲ್ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನ ಫೀಚರ್ಸನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವ. So the first one, it proposed the setting of a three-tier panchayat system as obligatory except in a state having a population not exceed 20 lakhs. All are the repeated ones, so you will understand while reading. The next one, it was provided in the first one we can see it is about establishing three-tier panchayat system. One is at the uh, uh, village level and taluk level, and also in a district level. So at the second one, it was provided for the state legislature to enact law pertaining to the composition of the panchayat. So the duty, it was given, I mean state legislature was the responsible to enact law pertaining to the composition of the panchayat. This law was to provide for direct elections to the gram panchayat as well. That means state legislature was the responsible to conduct direct elections to the gram panchayat. The next one, the gram sabha was to be general body of the village panchayat consisting all the eligible voters in the jurisdiction of gram panchayat. So gram sabha was to be general body, that is village panchayat. Gram Sabha consisting of all the eligible voters in the jurisdiction of the Gram Panchayat. Next one, seats shall be reserved for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in accordance with their population. Not less than one third of the seats shall be population, and one third of the not less than one third of the seats shall be reserved for women also. Seats shall also be reserved for backward classes. See, along with the SC, STs, and women's, the seats also given to the backward classes in the panchayat till the period as specified in Article 334 of the Constitution. The next feature, the panchayat shall enjoy a term of 5 years. Panchayat shall enjoy a term of 5 years, and the elections of the panchayat shall be held within 6 months of its dissolution. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಮ್ಮೆ 5 years ಡೆಸಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟು 6 ಮಂತ್ಸಿನ ಒಳಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲೆಕ್ಷನನ್ನು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆದರೆ ಪಂಚಾಯತ್ನ ಅಧಿಕಾರಾವಧಿ 5 ವರ್ಷ. The institutions of local self governments will be expected to plan economic development, social justice, and also implement the schemes of economic development and social justice. ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಏರಿಯಾಗಳು ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಯೋಜನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆ ಯೋಜನೆಗಳ ಯೋಜನೆಯನ್ನು ತಯಾರಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಅದು ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ನ್ಯಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂಥ ಯೋಜನೆ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಜಾರಿಗೆ ತರುವಂಥದ್ದು. 29 items have been laid down in the 11th schedule, which could be entrusted to the panchayat at different levels by the um, respective state legislature. That means how many 29 items have been added in the 11th schedule, which could be entrusted to the panchayat at different levels by the respective state legislature. So we can see that items related to agriculture, land development, land reforms, social conservation, minor irrigation, water management, watershed development, animal husbandry, dairy, poultry, fisheries, social farm, forestry, minor forest produce, rural industry, rural electrification, fuel and secondary level, technical and vocational education, family welfare programs, women and child development, social welfare, welfare of the weaker sections, and in particular of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, poverty alleviation program, and maintenance of community assets. These are the 29 items have been laid down in the 11th schedule of the Constitution. The next one, let's move on to understand the 74th Amendment Act and its feature. See, the Constitution 74th Amendment Act 1992 came into effect from June 1, 1993. It relates to urban areas and is similar to the Constitution of 73rd Amendment Act. So this amendment include uh, Part 9A, Articles 24(3) P2 24(3) ZG, which which deals with the urban local self governments at various levels and gives the powers to the state government to legislate regarding these. So, this act is also known as Nagarpalika Constitution Amendment Act. Nagarpalika Constitution Amendment Acts. Now, let us look at the features of this act. See, it inserts Part 9A so as to define the organization or working. Part 9A will define the organization and working of local self governments in the urban area, known by the name of Nagar Panchayats or municipalities or boards or council or corporations. The state legislature shall be, the law determines the strength of these bodies, the number of seats reserved for SC/STs and other weaker sections in a community in proportion to their population in the state, even including women's also seats are given in the urban local self government. The second one, the normal tenure of these bodies shall be 5 years from the date of their first meeting. In case a body is dissolved earlier, election shall be held within next 6 months, as same like previous act, that is 73rd act. The next one, the accounts of the municipal corporation shall be subject to auditing as per the rules framed by the governor after consulting the accounts of municipal corporation shall be subject to auditing as per the rules framed by the governor. Okay, after consulting, that means governor has to consult the comptroller and auditor general of India in the matters of accounts of the municipal corporation. So the case shall cause the audit report of the municipal corporation to be laid before the legislature of his state. The next one, the state legislature may, by law, endow the municipalities, prepare plans for economic development and social justice. Grant in aid may be provided to the municipalities from the consolidated aid will be provided to the municipalities from the consolidated fund of the state. ರಾಜ್ಯದ ನಿಧಿಯಿಂದ ಹಣವನ್ನು ಪೂರೈಕೆ ಮಾಡಲಾಗ್ತದೆ. The governor shall set up a finance commission to review the financial position of these bodies and to make recommendations for the distribution of taxes, grant in aid, etc. So the report of this commission shall cause to be laid before the state legislature, later which it is submitted to the governor. The next one, the state legislature shall also have the power to make a law relating to the elections of these bodies. That means to the state legislature the responsibility also given in the matters of elections of these bodies under the superintendence, direction and control of the chief electoral officer of the state. Next one, the provision of this act shall apply to the union territories, and the presidents of India shall have the power to make necessary alterations or modifications in their application. Even this provision of this act is applied to the union territories as well. So it is I mean responsibility is given to the presidents of President of India shall have the power to make necessary alteration or modification in the application. Next one, the state legislature shall make law for the settlement of election disputes. um, the provisions of this act shall not apply to the existing municipalities. The state legislature shall have the power to dissolve them before. That means that it is the duty of the state legislature. I mean, it is the power. It is the power given to the state legislature to dissolve them. I mean, to dissolve urban local self government before they expires in their term, and to implement the provisions of this act. But it shall not apply to scheduled and tribal areas. So it inserted schedule 12th, which assigns 18 subjects to municipality, 18, 18 subjects to municipalities as urban or town planning, regulation of town planning. They are regulation of land use and building construction, planning for economic and social development, roads and bridges, water supply for domestic and commercial purposes, public health and sanitation, fire services, urban forestries, and promoting ecological aspects, safeguarding the interest of the weaker sections of the society, including physically handicapped and mentally retarded, slum improvement, urban poverty alleviation, urban recreational facilities, promotion of cultural and educational activities, burial and cremation uh, grounds, etc. These are the items which added in the 12th schedule of the constitution, which is related to the urban local self government. So I hope you all understood. If you have any doubts, please do ask me anytime. Thank you, dear students.